These lives are always better when your team's just won a North London derby, innit? People deluded. I'm back again. Arsenal 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Ironically, as much as I feel we were somewhat in control for the large majority of this game, technically we came from behind and patterned off the game and claimed 3 points. Credit where due. You know, if we lost this game and all these sort of things, we'd have energy. Credit where due. Isolated to this game. This game called for character. This game called for commitment. This game called for every individual player to stand up to be counted. Those 3 things. And I saw it. You know, I said all week, everybody should be fearful of letting down the collective. And I saw 11 men in the trenches today. I saw 11 men that fought. Of course, we've got a penalty and they're sending off and there's all these fine margins and there's things that we could have done better. But I didn't have no hope going into this game, really and truly, beyond it being a North London derby. Now they make us all look smug. You know me, I'm never one to troll. I'm doing a lot on Twitter right now, people. I'm all going through Spurs' ex-tweets and stuff. I'm seeing stuff like Harry Kane, king of the North London derby. I'm ecstatic. Now, for me, I don't want to sit here and say this is a blueprint because we've sat here and in the first time in a while, we're in a season where we beat United away from home. We've beat Chelsea. We've beat Leicester. We've won today. And I don't want to say what I said in them times where I say, can this be a building block? Can we build on this? Because we don't know what we're going to see in the next week against West Ham or whatever. But isolated to this game, once again, I'm proud of these players. I'm proud of, you know, everyone stood up to be counted, from the young players to the experienced players. I couldn't ask more. If you're asking me, I'll push for man of the match and all those sort of things. I think Odegaard was very good. I think Gabriel had a very good game. Of course, you know, we had a good save from Gabriel. Block from Gabriel, and obviously Odegaard scored. So it is what it is. At a push, obviously, people, you know, we had to come from behind, so we shouldn't have conceded that goal. We should have killed the game before it got to that moment. Obviously, I personally feel one downer, not to be a demi-downer, not to be an old man or nothing, but I did feel when they had a man sent off, we looked even more shaky. I don't know what happened. What happened, people? You know, we looked very shaky when they were down to 10 men. Obviously, Kane hit the post. There was a couple other moments and things. Last 10, 15, 20, it was a bit mad. And you could see David Luiz, Xhaka, Pepe, Partey, they're all moaning at each other and things. So, of course, you know, we need to learn how to manage games better. We need to, when we have, you know, sustained pressure, scoring games and take the lead. We need to close out games better. All of these things that we're never going to change. But you know what? To come from behind, to get 3 points in a North London derby, it's great. I'll take it. You know, obviously we saw a fantastic goal from Lamela and he showed the good, bad and the ugly of what he was on today, really. He's the hero and villain for Spurs. But, you know, on the grand scheme of things, it was never going to be perfect. We knew it, you know, I'm sure we'd all take this. Of course, there's many things we need to improve. For me, it's the shots, because prior to our goal, I'm going to get into it all, but prior to our goal, I actually feel we had 3 shots, 1 on target. When we scored, I feel prior to the goal, the only efforts we had is that fantastic one from Smith Rowe where he's hit the post, that half-hearted one from Cedric where he hit the outside of the post. So obviously we've got to work on, when we've got teams under sustained pressure, scoring and keeping it up, big people, because you lot, some of you were in my live watch-alongs. I said, you know, this is going to be one of them games. You have bare possession, bare chances, all of these things, and the team get 1 and score. That's what we need to work on. You know, possession for the sake of possession, it doesn't mean anything. We played well. We had over 70% of the possession in the first half. We dominated, but we need to make sure the scoreline reflects that. So it was very good from us, but it is what it is. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. And on that note, I'm going to jump straight into it. I'm going to share my Google Doc with you guys and let's get straight into it. Now, I've got a lot of other thoughts and I'm going to probably miss a lot because my emotions are still with the game. I did feel, you know, from the first five or so minutes, it did feel like there was something, man. We had them in their own half. We was fairly positive. You know, Tierney, I don't think Tierney's heat map is going to show him too many times in his own half. I'm not going to lie. There was one incident where Dele Alli sent him shop and obviously Doherty, but Tierney did very well, even in the build-up to Odegaard's goal. And I would have thought going against Gareth Bale, there would have been a lot more for Tierney to do, but Tierney had the freedom of that left-hand side. Smith Rowe buzzing around. I called on Martin Odegaard to be consistent for 90 minutes against Benfica. It was fantastic, but he wasn't, for me, he wasn't playing badly, but he weren't in it for 90. From start to finish, forget the goal. Odegaard was superb. Smith Rowe and him started well. You know, Partey for me last 20 or so started messing around, taking too many touches. But I feel generally Xhaka and Partey were fantastic. Gabriel bossed it, and I keep saying he's our best centre half at this club. I'm not having nothing else. I'm sorry, people. Tierney showed what he's on. I hear a lot about this Reguilon guy, best left back in the Prem and things, and he might very well be. But today he's not. He showed, you know, Tierney showed who the big dog is. Obviously, Saka weren't bad and things like that, but he was subbed for tactical reasons. I think Arteta, again, before the game, I said I need Arteta to be on it tactically, because I feel, you know, when they went free at the back in the Benfica game against that manager, he struggled. I feel Jose Mourinho in the reverse game of this, he struggled. Brendan Rodgers, Dean Smith, Nuno. I think Arteta has struggled in games, and I think today he set out a plan well. He counteracted well. It looked like we went 4-4-2 in the second half with Pepe coming on and Odegaard unofficially joining them. I think tactically he done very well, and I'm superb. And obviously for Spurs, it's 3 points missed because Chelsea dropped points. Obviously United and West Ham are going to play in a piece. So it is what it is. And obviously the game was marred by Martinelli not being involved. Apparently, I don't know any facts, but apparently it's due to family problems. Hopefully there's something that gets sorted in that regard. Aubameyang's left out for disciplinary issues and things like that. For things like that. So again, it looks good. If we lost, we'd be looking at that and saying what's going on. But we won. The captain was out the team, and we did what we needed to do, people. Like I said, first 5 minutes, you know, a lot was going down the left. I was shocked by, maybe it was arrogance from Jose Mourinho, because I did expect them to be a tiny bit more defensive and set up well. And you could see elements of that, but I feel they were probably a bit more positive than I expect from Jose. I'd say a bit complacent, because I was surprised how you know, a game like this, winning in the midfield battle is central, and Spurs lost that real quick. The only time they looked good it was in the second half, when we were kind of messing around when they went down to 10 men. You know, the wide areas, they won that. You know, we was pressing them high, we was aggressive, they couldn't play out from the back. You know, they were inventing their own problems, and we were snatching it and winning it high up there. We was limiting them to long balls, and we was obviously winning the first and second challenges in the midfield and in the wide areas. You know, our centre halves had effort to do in the first half. We just needed that goal. Like I said, I don't know where it was from Spurs, but it was so good so far for the first 10 for me. We had good early pressure. Spurs were at 6s and 7s. You know, that ball over to the left-hand side with Tierney, and when Smith rolls out there, it's all there. As I said, we're putting moves together. We have good possession, but fundamentally, we need that goal, folks. So like I said, you know, we still need that goal. Our fullbacks and wide men are doing well, and I think Cedric showed just, when you just do the basic things of a fullback, how good it is, and Tierney and Smith Rowe need no introduction. I thought that was a brave call with the Smith Rowe and Odegaard shouts as well, because I thought it was a game for one of them, and then a Pepe and obviously a Saka more wide options, because I was thinking more going backwards. You know, Smith Rowe does muck in defensively like everybody, but naturally they tend to get caught going inside and things like that. So it was a bit of a dodgy one in that regards, people. So it is what it is, you know. But like I said, if we just look at this isolated away from the Spurs game, we've been in this situation before where we have lots of chances, you know, half chances without working the keeper, Lloris, hella possession, the other teams in their own half. But as you lot know, we cannot mix up for a second possession with winning the game. We need to get some goals. I think while we're playing well, we're not we're not thinking, we're not working, Lloris. These were notes for later, actually. You know, apart from that, Smith Rowe was amazing with one of his shots where it hit the post. Again, for 20 minutes in, I think we could have scored. We had 70% possession. Spurs had no ideas. They looked quite nervous. You know, they're giving the ball away. You can see Alderweireld shouting at people. So I think we needed to hit the target. They're struggling to play out from the back. They're panicking and losing their battles, in my opinion. But we switched off. You know, I did think we was doing well against Bale, because I'm not, like I said, so far I haven't said Gareth Bale's name too much. I think we're doing well against him, and we're limiting him to the halfway line. The problem is we've seen that against Crystal Palace when they switch possession. They switch possession well. Reguilon's done very well to get into our half. Again, I think Saka's injured now. Saka is caught over covering. Obviously, Cedric and Partey probably could have done a bit more. We're all taking it's a great effort. Take nothing away from it. We could only have stopped the build-up. You know, 9 times out of 10, someone is just going to take that shot on the left or the right. It's probably going to cannon off somebody, or it's going to go to nowhere. But that one time, you're going to get someone like Lamela, who came on for the injured son, tries a little Rabona flick. You know, Leno can't really see. It's taking him by surprise. It's a fantastic goal. Take nothing away from it. I did think we could have stopped the build-up, but it's a fantastic goal, and it's a bitter pill to swallow because you know as an Arsenal fan we run this risk. But like I said on the live stream, I was still confident and I was actually going to be annoyed if we didn't score in this whole game because they're still given opportunities and I wanted to see character. You lot have never been a goal down before. You shouldn't be. You should have scored, but forgive yourselves. And man to a man, I saw that. The only real criticisms I have of today is we made the end of the game when they had 10 men unnecessarily nervous. We probably didn't score when we needed to in the first 10. Obviously, we've conceded a goal against the run of play where at a point that was Spurs' first effort. So there are things we can do better, but it was a good performance. And I think we did well to obviously get back in the game 10 minutes after that, after the first goal. Obviously, fantastic play from everybody involved, but Tierney, especially Odegaard, who makes it 2 goals in 2 games, courtesy of Toby Alderweireld, allows it to go in. I don't know actually if it's going to be given to Odegaard or a Toby Alderweireld own goal. I think it is Odegaard, but you know how the Premiers, they like to shag it. Either way, who cares? We get in the game. We deserve that equaliser. We deserve to put more daylight. So we did. It is what it is. We did what we needed to do, and it is what it is in that regards. Now, for me, why I wanted to score a bit more because I was looking at it, and you could imagine there's no way Jose Mourinho is going to be happy with that, from a Spurs, because like I said, on one hand, you could say their game plan was actually what you saw because the Jose Mourinho side, while he named a more attacking 11 than I thought, they're a defensive team historically, Jose. So they're used to being without possession. So a bit of that, we can't confuse a possession again with dominating the game, but we need to score again. And if I'm Jose, I was looking at what Jose is. I wanted to get into halftime with some daylight because I could imagine certain man might get subbed, things get changed, people are getting shouted at. Because you could imagine about 3 times Jose Mourinho's probably tore up his halftime notes. The way they started the game, obviously when you score in a positive note and then obviously to concede. So they're at 6s and 7s. I think maybe people bigged up Spurs more than they needed to be. Maybe Spurs didn't deal with the pressure or maybe it wasn't their day. But either way, it's 1-1. I think we need to score some more. Simple as that. Old theme still remaining that we've conceded a goal against the run of play. We're not working the keeper enough. But other than that, there's character. We're dominating the game. I'm liking the mentality. Nobody's hiding. Everybody's showing for it. And yeah, I can sit here and say for me, Odegaard was good or Gabriel was good. But man to a man, I saw everyone standing up to be counted. I was more so impressed with the first half than the second half. And I know that's when we got the winner. So to sit there at half time, I'm thinking we had a good half. Simply put, we need more shots. I think we deserved our goal because we showed character. But again, this is what proves costly. When you don't build on your early dominance, 70% possession, it can prove costly. Prior to our goal, I don't think we worked the keeper enough. As I said, Cedric and Smith Rowe both hit the post. I know Lacazette probably could have scored, but we didn't really do enough. I was surprised by the space they were conceding, the lack of ideas Spurs had, and I thought he might have gone with Bird. I don't know if Bergwij's fit, but he might have gone with Bergwijn out wide. I'm not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist, but have you seen me and Bergwijn in the same place? I thought he might, on a serious note, go with a Sissoko there to get a lot defensively. And I was shocked by how long it probably took Jose in the second half to make a change. But we're showing character. We need more shots, but we deserved our goal. Ultimately, it's a good half. We're winning our individual battles and we are dominating people. We just need to do a bit more because I expected a reaction from Jose. And for me personally, please make sure you're hitting the like button. There's 300 of you locked in. But for me personally, I did feel there was more of a reaction from Jose. I did feel the game was a bit more open. Lamela was playing a dangerous game. I think it's a bit of a harsh red card. I know ultimately he's swung and he's hit someone. He's hit Tierney. I'm not defending it, but I think he's trying to when you're playing football, you see someone coming. Xhaka's guilty of that. And it's a problem. I think where Lamela went wrong is because he was thinking he was doing it too much and the ref went to him something like 4 times. He played his way into it and I think he lost his head. I think when Lamela first come on, you saw it. He was on this, he's rattling David Luiz and Xhaka, but he rattled himself. He needs to keep his head, man. He needs to keep his head, man. I'm an emotional wreck as well, my guy, in a positive sense. But yeah, man. Second half, I expected the reaction. We know what we need to do. We've got ourselves in the game. Make sure you don't lose this. Go and score another because this Spurs team look a bit frail, look a bit shell-shocked. And ironically, they have a good start in 11, but we're winning the battles. We're winning our individual battles all across the field. We're dominating. And I feel when, I said it in my live stream, you got Davinson Sanchez, you got Doherty. Doherty was trying his best not to hide the fact he's an Arsenal fan. Sanchez has mistakes in him, We're dominating possession. And like I said, for me, I'm thinking, I'm expecting a reaction. I'm thinking, you know, can we get another goal or two? But we need to be sensible because, again, like you've seen, against the run of play, we can get smacked up. So we need to be sensible. It seems like we went to a 4-4-2 and was a bit narrow. It even looked like Spurs in the first half were 4-2-3-1/4-4-2. But either way, we're playing well. I think the introduction of Pepe worked. He was doing all right. You know, a couple of moments were being a bit stupid. You know, we had 13 attempts by the 60th minute, 66th odd minute. And obviously, you know, fundamentally, we get that penalty shout. You know, Davinson Sanchez, the ball's gone. He's sliding, he's collassing people. I don't know what he's doing. Lacazette steps up, cool as you like. He's working very hard like everyone else. He steps up and gets the goal for me, people, or for us, better yet. So we walk away with it at 2-1. You know, I'm not gonna go into the end of the game, but we all know we made it nervous. You know, I did think we were a bit nervous. It's almost like we dropped our level after they went down to 10 men, and we got a bit scared. But ultimately, ending thoughts again, I think Spurs, I don't know what they were working on, but I think they flattered to deceive. It's like waiting on a movie for time and then watching a movie and then it's not as good. That's how I feel their tactics were. I feel in general, you know, when we move away from the euphoria of winning and it being Spurs and a big game and all these things, and we look at it with balance, there's plenty of positives in this game, and there's more positives than others. But I think just pointers, the same things remain. Is like, can we take our chances a bit early? Can we not concede against the run of play or these sequences? You know, the game management towards the end, you know, we were on the receiving end of it with Kane hitting the post and Gabriel clearing it. But on another day, these things get messed up. You know, I also feel, as I said at the start, I feel Arteta got his tactics before the game and during the game spot on. Before, I don't really have a problem. During the game, when he plays against these tactical guys, I think he struggles, but I saw a good reaction from him and I have to give his praise. Same way every one of those players, you know, Smith Rowe can't be really fit. That's why he wasn't going to play 90. He played well. I think Pepe off the bench did well. I think Lacazette, Tierney, Xhaka, Partey, obviously last 20, I think Partey and a lot of players were messing about, but we did what we needed to do. It was a fantastic result, and I'm proud of my boys. You know, man to a man, this is what happens when you play the team and not when you play the occasion and not the team, because there was every reason for you lot to think you'd lose. Like I said at the start, as much as I rate Spurs and what they're doing, I feel they get a lot of praises that Arsenal don't. They've turned 3-4 games over and played quite well prior, and a lot of plaudits. Oh, you don't want to play Spurs at this time, which I'm not saying is wrong. But when we beat Chelsea, West Brom and Brighton or whatever, people weren't singing from the rooftops. So I give us praise, man. And maybe we capitalized on that. You know, maybe the fact that Aubameyang didn't play, maybe that took Spurs by surprise. But listen, we won the tactical battle. We won the mental battle. We got the 3 points. I'm proud of my boys. You know, I'm the first, like all of you lot, to criticize them. They showed character. The thing now is we've sat here. You know, we've sat here against United. We've sat here against Chelsea. You know, we've sat here, we're now sitting here against Spurs people, and now there's a lot of optimism. Even right now, one brother in the comments is saying, you know, he's doing it like Arsenal fans do. Our final 10 games aren't that bad. You see, the optimism comes, the man starts sitting there and saying, oh, but Liverpool are playing bad, West Ham this and that. And I'm not saying don't do that, you know. Like I said, I've said it plenty of times. If we sit in May and we ain't accomplished what we've accomplished, what we want to accomplish in a season that's been as crazy as this, it's our fault because nobody's taking charge. Look at Spurs. If Spurs took 3 points today, it hardly changes things, but it puts pressure on this United West Ham game. You know, it makes Chelsea look even more stupid off of dropping points against Leeds. So again, whether we're going to lay a marker down, it is what it is. But what I'd like to say is, you know, the manager played the tactics spot on. He got his team spot on. You know, whatever we've worked on was spot on. He talked about we need to have cup finals and a run of games. This is good now. We made it harder than it need to be against Olympiacos, but we did our thing. You know, we've done our thing today. Ironically, you know, we've conceded again. Forgive me if I'm wrong, people. In fact, we took the lead against Benfica, right? I can't even remember, but we've conceded 2 silly goals in those games historically. So again, there's still certain things we can work on. There's still problems that remain. But at the same time, it's down to these boys now because, again, we could win today. Same way we beat Leicester, then we messed around against Burnley. It's down to them. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the little bragging rights. I'm definitely doing a lot on Twitter, but, you know, tomorrow it doesn't mean anything. We go again and we focus on Olympiacos, you know, that's only what's going to happen. Keep being hungry. And what I'm liking now generally is that there's competition for places. You know, big up Martin Odegaard as well, because I wanted him to play to the standard where he looks a Real Madrid player in and amongst Arsenal Europa League squad, which, respect to my players today, he did. Like I said, I wanted him to be consistent for 90 minutes, and he was spot on in that regards today. You know, I'm proud of my players today, you know. Let's try and make it a little bit nervous for the fans, but we did what we needed to do in that regard. So yeah, ultimately, that's all I have to say in relation to the review part of this live stream. And it's so good I have to say it twice, man. Arsenal 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. You know, it's nice that we avoided, you know, them doing the double. You know, they could have done the double. Jose could have been the first Spurs manager to win his 3 North London derbies. It could have been madness, you know. And you're right,